more and more Americans are eyeing electric vehicles for their next car purchase. A recent AAA survey shows months of high gas prices are helping lead that charge. West Coast states, they're moving to phase out gas-powered vehicles. Many automakers are along for the ride, offering Americans more of what they like to drive. Chris Van Cleve shows us a few of the latest rides available.
It really is a lot of fun. See, I can't stop smiling.
Maryland resident Thomas Gillespie was so excited to get his new Rivian electric truck, he picked it up at the Illinois factory himself.
They're like, you know, Mr. Gillespie, your truck's out front, and I went bounding out the front doors like an overexcited 12-year-old.
Gillespie says he'd been wanting to go electric, and now his wallet is reaping the benefits.
I figured it out at the end of the day. It cost me $1.19 in electricity to do all of my daily driving. My old truck, I mean, it probably would have been, you know, at least 4 gallons of gas. So what is that, $25, $26, $27?
A recent survey from AAA found 1/4 of Americans say they would be likely to buy an electric vehicle as their next auto purchase, in part to save on fuel costs. And consumers now have more choices than ever.
What we see now is that they're actually building things that people want, like crossovers and pickup trucks.
Chevrolet just introduced its all-electric Blazer with plans for more EV models next year.
The intention and where we're pricing this product is to certainly make it more available for more mainstream buyers.
While all these new options are appealing, many Americans are hesitant to take their foot off the gas entirely.
The hesitation comes really in 2 main forms. One is around range anxiety. The other one comes at worrying about the long-term reliability and costs of owning an EV.
General Motors launched an interactive website to help educate consumers about electric vehicles.
This sucker's quick.
And President Biden's infrastructure law includes $7.5 billion to build out a nationwide EV charging network. Gillespie says his own learning curve was quick.
It really isn't the lifestyle change that people think it's going to be. It's just not.
He's on the road, charged up, and not looking back.
All right, so if you're considering an electric vehicle of your own, now is the time to get your questions answered. Today, we're joined by Mike Quincy from Consumer Reports. We're going to talk everything electric vehicles and really any other car question you have, because he can handle any of those. Text us your questions. This is how you get your question to our expert. The number is 336-379-5775. You can get your question answered in real time. All right, let's start with what folks should know about getting an electric vehicle. Maybe stuff that other people don't tell them.
Well, in some ways, you know, going from a regular gas car to a hybrid car to a plug-in hybrid is the step that you probably want to consider taking before just jumping 2 feet into a full electric car. Electric cars can be very expensive. They tend to be a little bit on the small side if you can't spend as much, and you always have to have a place to plug them in. So Consumer Reports is being big. We're big fans of thinking the better transition would be a plug-in electric hybrid.
Okay, so take it step by step. All right. So people always want to know, what are the pros, what are the cons? Let's kind of go over the drawbacks of an electric vehicle.
Well, the best thing about a plug-in hybrid is that you're getting a certain number of electric-only miles in your commute. I mean, most people are commuting 40 miles or less a day. Most plug-in hybrids will give you between 20 and 40 miles of all-electric driving, and it doesn't cost much to charge up at home. In fact, it costs a lot less, dollar per dollar compared electricity to gasoline. It still costs you a lot less to charge it up with electricity. And some are also qualifying for a $7,500 tax rebate. So that's really the good news. The bad news is if you're a person that travels long distances on a regular basis, once your electric miles are over, your fuel economy actually will go down compared to just a regular hybrid, or in some cases, just a regular gasoline engine. For example, the Jeep Wrangler 4xe gets 49 miles per gallon equivalent. That's taking in the electric miles that you're driving. But once the electricity is gone, you're going to get about 20 miles per gallon. So you have to think about how much you're driving and how you usually use your car.
Mm-hmm. And when you say like long distances, are we talking like a half-hour commute to work, or are we talking about like an hour and a half commute to work?
Well, the more miles that you have to commute, the less effective your EV propulsion will be with your plug-in hybrid. I'm thinking more like if your life gets you on the road more. If you're
I
a
see.
road trip guy like I am, I mean, I like, driving long distances just for fun because I'm weird. But that's a regular electric or a plug-in electric really wouldn't do it for me. But for a short commute, like it's about 15 minutes between my house and the Consumer Reports test track. If I wasn't driving all the test cars, a plug-in electric hybrid would be perfect for me.
All right, let's talk about some of the popular electric vehicles that people might already know about that you guys have looked at.
Everybody wants to talk about Tesla. They have a wide variety of models. The Tesla Model S and Model 3 did very well in Consumer Reports testing. You have to watch some of the reliability has not been superb. They still have some issues with some like fit and finish issues and whatnot. A better bet, I think, would be Toyota RAV4 plug-in hybrid. They call their plug-in models Prime. They have the Prius Prime, the RAV4 Prime. These cars did very well in Consumer Reports testing. Excellent reliability, great fuel economy. RAV4 Prime is one of my favorite cars. It's a small-ish SUV. It's not too big. It's not too small. I have a level 2 charger in my house. I plug it in a few hours or just charging overnight. And I'm getting about 20, 30 miles of all electric driving. So it's really, really cool. I mean, it's certainly a way that things are going. You're hearing about California wanting to ban all gasoline cars by 2035. We'll see how that pans out. But that doesn't necessarily mean the plug-in hybrids are going to be banned, because they are, you have a regular hybrid system, but you also have a gasoline engine on board. But the more people that are driving hybrids, plug-in hybrids, or electric cars, it's going to be better for the environment.
All right, well, you mentioned that you have one of those plug-ins at home, and we've got a text question about it. It says, how do I get a charging system at my house, or do I have to get one in my house?
It definitely will benefit you if you're plugging in a regular basis. A level 2 charger can run off of a regular kind of electric outlet that you might have for your washer and dryer. So it's a 240 volt outlet. You hire an electrician and have them put it in. I'm not an electrician. I didn't do it myself. It might set you back about $1,000. But even when you put in that kind of investment in your house to have this charger, and again, with some of the cars that are getting these tax rebates, these cars can be very, very easy on your wallet.
Interesting. Okay, so it was good that you put like the estimated kind of ish charge, so we don't get sticker shock when someone says this is how much it's going to be to put that charging station in your house. All right, it is 5:38. We've got 2 more segments with our expert about electric cars or just cars in general. Remember, you can text us those questions 336-379-5775. We'll be right back.